Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly review. So let's look at what happened last week. Expected a pullback to the AVWAP and didn't have it because of the good CPI print, which caused the rally. We had that 5% squeeze in IWM, and then a little bit of a rejection which was to be expected. And then we had OPEX, and today we begin the week of Thanksgiving. Is going to be a short week. Expect low liquidity. If you guys watch Sam's interview on uh, Ameritrade Network, he says one of the reasons why we should not expect a big pullback is because of low liquidity, meaning people will take days off and there won't be enough market participants, active market participants, to actually drive the price down, and this works in favor of the bullish case. Uh, and how it should play out is that the pullback should be relatively small and controlled, and we should be resuming the uptrend at the beginning of December, something along those lines. So given this, I think there's a couple of scenarios. I still think we go for the AVWAP tag. Uh, the difference is AVWAP is now higher, so I'll delete this and we need to do a new projection based on this. So the most likely there are two ways I think we do this. One is in which the bigger part of the pullback comes this week, and another one in which the bigger part of the pullback comes next week. As of now, I think it's more likely we get the bigger part of the pullback next week. And this week we actually do a very shallow pullback. Then we go back up. So let's draw. We do a very shallow pullback to 443, maximum of 440. So this would be here, but more likely than not, it's 443. So very shallow pullback. I'll redraw this from scratch. Then we go back up and maybe go a bit higher than last week's high, just to give the impression that we broke out, and then we go even higher. And then we get the rug pull, and next week when people come in, because we will be very high, I expect to be a bit more heavy selling than usual. And the follow-up pullback for next week, going actually this is a bit too. Hmm. The follow-up pullback could take us as low as 435, something like this. Uh, the AV up should keep going like this. So something along those lines. We can undercut it, we can bounce exactly on it. I don't know for sure, but then we go up, and the expectation is to hit like 460 and retest the high here in December for the year-end rally. This is kind of the main scenario I think we get now. Um, so don't expect heavy selling this week, but if we are higher at this week's end than last week, expect some more heavy selling, some heavier selling into the beginning of next week before we bottom at the beginning of December, something like this. The other scenario, this is the main one I think we will get. The other one is we get the pullback, the deeper pullback this week, and that would make, let's do a different color, but I'll change it afterwards. We go to 436.35, bounce here, maybe consolidate around the bottom for a bit, do this, and then we start going up and up and up. It should be relatively identical beginning of January, but I don't know how it will play out this week. Like I said, I expect we get shallow pullback, move higher, higher pullback, lower pullback, sorry, and then we go up into December, something like to 460. Um, Yeah, and that's kind of it. The team should be mega caps underperforming. We also have Nvidia earnings this week. Let's look at mega caps a bit. For Tesla, nothing really has changed. Still think it should do this because it's one of the more beaten down mega caps, and it hasn't reached its peak. Probably like 250-ish is gonna be its peak, uh, and then it should pull back a bit more. Then Apple hit the target 190. This kind of why I expect Apple to have a pullback. It should go like to 180. Again, don't expect anything big, but or it could just consolidate near the highs. Don't bet against Apple in the short term here. Nvidia, it looks like it hit resistance into the previous high. This trend line here, um, this supposed to be like this, and this is supposed to be like this. So for Nvidia, it's all about the earnings. Given that it rallied a lot, I think any push aside from extraordinary earnings, which can actually make it gap up and go for like do 560 here. Uh, it's a fade. So any gap up on Nvidia earnings that is not extraordinary from an earnings perspective is to be faded. Don't expect it to hold that much. But the ultimate target for Nvidia into year end, if earnings are good and people keep buying, is this 560, 570 level. Then Google also hitting its cap. This looks like a rejection to me. Like just like here, it went a bit higher. Now it wants to go lower. So uh, this is just sideways consolidation to me because it just keeps selling and selling and selling in the dark pool. It's still at 30% even after this rally. This is distribution. So we can potentially go down one more time. We can go up one more time, and in January we will have the breakdown that takes breaks this 122 level and takes us probably to 100 or 107, something like that. Amazon, this one was extremely overbought. I think it hit 100 on the indicator. It was at did it hit one? It hit one, yes. Now, what we look to see is this sideways consolidation, like making a divergence on the indicator in which it doesn't go higher on the indicator, but it makes lower highs. I am waiting to see what this will look like after Friday's expiration because a lot of OI should be going away. We'll see how it plays out. But again, don't expect it to go significantly higher. 150 should cap it if it pushes a bit higher. Microsoft behaving somewhat in the range of expectation, meaning it's hugging this trend line here. It should do a pullback, but don't expect it to be the pullback. More moving up and down in this rising wedge here, and probably it will hit 385 by the time this is over at year end. Meta is similar to Amazon. It went a bit higher here, but still the major expectation is sideways movement. Sideways movement, just like I said for Google. Netflix is in very deep need of a pullback. Trying to figure out if there's another trend line here that it can use as support. This this is not support, this is resistance, and it just hit it. So basically this was a breakdown and it hit the back test now. Yeah, very high probability of a pullback. But how low? Here at 440. Say we hit 440 and then it just keeps going like this. Down to 440, bounce, keeps going, and we have this rising wedge here, and it will eventually uh, do this in January. Seems okayish. Okay, so finally hit the 100 target. It wasn't exactly 100, but the area here. Now expectation is of a bounce. Oil looks like a fake breakdown. We shall see. Oh, it actually looks like a failed breakdown. So it tried to push below the level, immediately recaptures, and now it has follow through up. This looks quite bullish, and I think it goes back to 81 at least. If it breaks out, it's a recession coming back play. It's complicated. We'll see when we get there, but some should be okay for now. Got on the RSI as well. Yields just past being here, doesn't know what to do. I have no idea. I can see them going higher, I can see them going lower. My target for end of year remains this 4.5x 56 level. We shall see. It depends on expected to continue reacting heavily to economic data. Yeah, that's kind of it. So main expectation is this, which could be up here as well. The other one being we get a full correction this week, and we go to for just say a shy bit under 440. So it could be 446, it could be 447, anything between 446 and 440. It depends on the amplitude, but don't expect heavy selling. Expect a shallow pullback that gets bought uh, because Nvidia earnings has the potential to be bullish. I'm putting this as the main scenario as well. So Nvidia earnings sentiment will trump everything else. So let's say we get a shallow pullback today and tomorrow, then Nvidia earnings comes, takes us back to the high, and then next week when people come and find the market at the high with no pullback, they're not gonna buy into it, they're gonna sell into it, and we get the bigger pullback in the second week of in next week, and then we the real deep buying comes in because people want to buy into the year-end rally, and we start the year-end rally that can go as high as 460, I believe. Could be higher, we'll see when we get there, but for now, 460 is the target. Okay, that's it. Have a good one. Bye bye.